So there's no feedback yet. Maybe somebody can tell me if everything works. That would be very nice. Okay. Perfect. That looks good. Okay. So as always, a brief reminder that we have a delay of about 15 seconds. So everything I say is delayed. So because of that, so if you ask any questions and so on, it will be, or the signal will be delayed 15 seconds, just for your knowledge. Okay. So yeah, today I want to talk about the time wave frequency in McMakin and the application strategies for chronic pain patients. So I don't want to talk about any basics, what are frequencies doing, microcurrent doing, and so on. So there are other former webinars you can watch in the online academy, but this one here should only concentrate on the strategies and yeah, general possibilities, what you can do for chronic pain. So I guess everybody of you know what it's all about, so I don't want to talk about any possible causes and so on. You are talking with your patients about the medical history and so on. I think that should be clear. So I don't want to talk about that today. So I just want to do a short repetition about the time wave frequency as a medical device. So I did a webinar a few weeks ago or a month ago. I want you to know in which country you can do official treatments for chronic pain with the time wave frequency, and in which countries you are not allowed to do it. So to be on the safe side, it's only for you. So also what you can claim, for example, on your website, in social media and so on. And yeah, I want you to know where you are allowed to talk about it, to claim that you can treat chronic pain, for example, and so on. So the frequency is a medical device class 2A, and it's certified in following countries as a medical device. So you can see it here. So in the whole European Union, including Switzerland and Norway, which are not part of the European Union, but it's a medical device there. Then in some parts of Asia, Australia, and the USA. But so in the European Union, it's allowed to treat pain, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, skeletal system pain, and so on. And also some cases of mental illnesses, depression, and so on. So this is the part I want to talk about next week on Monday. Today, we want to concentrate on pain management. So here in these countries, it's officially a medical device where you are allowed to treat pain with. In the US, it's a little different. It's not officially a pain management tool. In this case here, you are allowed to treat muscle spasms and so on, increasing local blood circulation and so on. So it's not officially allowed to treat pain in the US with a time wave frequency. So we have the FDA approval only for these indications here. So you're not allowed to claim in the USA that you can treat pain. Just to clarify this. Okay. So possible applications regarding pain management. So you have several possibilities. Of course, you can use sticky adhesive electrodes. You can use the handheld metal electrodes, ear clips, or sticky electrodes on the neck, for example, for cranial electrostimulation or transcranial electrostimulation, for headache, migraine, and so on. So these are the possible applications. Of course, you can treat a joint if there is pain in a joint, for example, or back pain, so you can place the electrodes on the back and so on. I think that's clear. So the electrodes should always be placed, or the tissue you want to treat should always be between the 2 electrodes, or 4 electrodes if you use the McMakin device. Okay, and yeah, if you use McMakin, for example, this is also possible for the single channel frequency. You can use wet towels. In my personal opinion, it's much more effective because you cover much more space or a bigger area, and you can use these alligator clips to connect the electrode cables with the wet towels. They should have skin contact. So the picture was made, it's also part of the McMakin module. So we don't want to show naked people there. That's the reason why this girl here wear clothes. But you should place the electrodes or the wet towels directly on skin. Okay. So just some basics. And now the pain management and strategies. To do some basics, of course, you should know the medical history, especially not only on the physical part, also the emotional, mental part, and so on. The more you know, the more effective you can treat afterwards. And you should always choose a holistic approach. That means you should consider all levels, so the karmic systemic level, the emotional, psychological level, and also the physical level, to find deeper backgrounds, to find causes, because sometimes if you have pain, the main cause is not on the physical level, it's maybe on the emotional or a higher level. So it depends. But it's much more often, or it happens much more often than you can imagine, that the main cause is on a higher level. And you should always establish a stable state. That means if a patient has a very bad lifestyle, sometimes you should care also on this level. So that means sometimes they have to change their diet, sometimes they have to exercise, do more sport, and so on. Yeah, drinking, eating habits, smoking, and so on. So sometimes you have to change also the lifestyle to establish a very good result with, or it's based on this, that you can have a good result at the end with your treatments with the time wave frequency. And then, yeah, you should always use the full potential of the time wave frequency. So I know some use only, let's say, the imbalances module and try to find the best frequencies, but sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes you have to care on more levels, or you should choose more approaches of the time wave frequency. What you can do, I will show you afterwards in the practical part, showing you the software and so on. And at the very beginning, you should do always 1 or 2 treatments per week to get a good start. That means if you, let's say, if you do only 1 per week or only 1 treatment at the very beginning, and then you have a pause, let's say you continue after 2 weeks, maybe the effect of the first treatment is gone. So you should choose a shorter repetition at the very beginning to establish a good level in the body. So you can have or the patients can have a pain relief after the first treatment, and then you should go further and try to get the pain down immediately afterwards. So let's say after 2 or 3 days and so on. So in my personal opinion, and also out of my own experience and the experience of our practitioners, that's a very good strategy to have a higher repetition at the very beginning. 1, 2, maybe sometimes 3 treatments per week. And until you have a full pain relief, or the patients have a full pain relief, it can, that can be a period of several months. There are some clinical studies, for example, for fibromyalgia patients, or with fibromyalgia patients, that it takes 4 to 6 months until they are completely pain-free. But I think if there is a patient with 20 years of chronic pain, 6 months is nothing. So if you can show the patients, or if they can imagine what's possible, if you can reduce the pain after the first treatment, they are convinced. And you have to convince the patients so that they can or want to come back. And you can give them a vision. And basically after a few months, if everything works perfect, you have a full pain relief. And and you can, or you should give further care at home, not only changing the lifestyles of the patients sometimes, but also you have the possibility to rent them a Healy or Mac Healy or a TimeWaver Home, or to sell the devices to them and create individual programs for them based on the experiences you have made in the practice or clinics. So you can find out which frequencies, which treatment strategies work in the clinic, in the practice, and then you can use the same frequencies, the same programs or advanced programs for one of these devices to give further care, and then they can use it at home every day as much as they want. So that's a huge advantage in using the TimeWaver frequency and McMakin, of course. Okay, so this was a short theoretical part. So now I want to show you what you can do in the TimeWaver frequency software. So there are 2 different versions, so don't worry. It looks sometimes different. There is an old customer version, there's a new customer version, but even if you have the new customer version, you can find, for example, all these pain programs. For example, if you search pain, you need a separate data or a file you have to import here under options. So I will provide it via email, or the TimeWaver Academy is going to provide it via email. So it's only for customers who bought the frequency after 2022, just for your information. Everybody before 2022 don't need it because you already got it in here. So if you search for pain, you can find all these programs in the programs section in the programs module here. And it's a very easy tool. And there's no information field in the background. It's only one specific frequency, sometimes with different signals and a specific amplitude. So you don't have to set any parameters and so on. You only should place the electrodes in the affected areas, let's say for back pain. So you can place the electrodes and simply click on play. That's everything you have to do. And then wait and see if there is a pain relief, for example, if there are, which feedback you get from your patients. Maybe you can combine it with manual therapy, or you can put the fingers on the tissue and see if it's getting softened or more softened. And yeah, that's very easy. So nothing special, so not very complicated. Just see and wait and get a feedback from your patients if there is any pain relief. Okay, of course you can do it with other programs. So for example, let's do it for general pain. So this is the almighty frequency, 0.5 hertz. With this kind of frequency, a lot of clinical studies were made, and out of my personal experience, it works most of the time. And yeah, this is what you can do at the very beginning without any doubts. Start it, run it maybe for 10 to 20 minutes. So this one, the total duration here is 20 minutes. And then simply click on play again and start. It depends on how much time you have with your patients. So maybe at the very beginning, you can start with this specific frequency, this specific pain frequency here, and see what happens. And then you can go ahead with a different program, or you can use the systemic application. That means if you talked about the medical history with your patient, and sometimes the patients don't want to talk about everything, let's say emotional traumas in the past, and or also abuse in the past and so on. Or sometimes they don't know everything because pain or emotional issues can be transferred from, let's say, mother or father or grandfather, grandmother, and so on, to a human being. And for this case, we have the information level. That means that you can do the analysis on all these levels to find out existing issues on higher levels which are connected to physical pain, for example. So this is what you can do too. You should be able to interpret it. You should be able to read all these entries and find the connection. And this is very important sometimes to find out the main cause. Because if you don't have any success with frequencies on the physical pain, you can be sure that maybe the main issue is on a higher level. So, or if the pain always comes back at the same level than at the very beginning, maybe you didn't hit the cause. And then I always recommend try to use the information level to find deeper connections. Okay, and then I know a lot of practitioners overjump the real-time and the resonance module and start immediately with the imbalances module. But sometimes if you don't have success with using frequencies directly in the imbalances module, it means that maybe the patient is not sensitized enough, or the cells are not open. And for this, you should use always the real-time module. There is a specific frequency pool in the background, and it's there to prepare the client for the main treatment later in the imbalances, for example. So you always start, I guess you should know this, but I have to say it because sometimes a lot of people forget it. So you should start on the lowest level, on the material or physical level. So this is the frequency range for the physical level, and simply start it. So the total duration should be 3 minutes. So 3 times 3 minutes at the very beginning. If you don't have any success after this 9 minutes, you should go back to the real time and start another 3 minutes. And sometimes it happens afterwards that the effect of the main frequencies of the main application here in the imbalances work. So it's worth it at the end. So spend this extra time here to have a good result at the end. So prepare the client here, and also afterwards, after you have finished the main application, the main treatment in the imbalances, you should use the higher frequency level up to 2 megahertz to connect the emotional level with the physical or material level. So that's the main thing. Or also to dissolve existing emotional problems or issues. So, and sometimes if you're not sure what to do, you can also use the resonance in combination with the information level. So if you are, don't want to say if you are lost, but if you want to get further impressions, you can use the resonance module. Use it at the very beginning, also on the material or physical level, and start the analysis to get a first overview which body parts, which body systems related to pain are affected. The same you can do with the emotional or mental level here. So this is an advanced preparing, and the main work starts here. And yeah, you should always use this module. It's my favorite one. So for example, if you have back pain, you can search for frequencies. So here you've got a lot of stuff, a lot of frequencies in there. So we can collect, or we can search several indications related to pain and collect it here on the left side. So now we have 20 entries here. Or if we search for general pain, so there's a lot of stuff. So we can choose whatever we want, whatever fits. Yeah. So I don't want to go specific. So let's choose something. And at the end, you can do the analysis to find out the most important frequencies. Not only acute problems, also chronic problems, which still have an energetic connection to acute problems, or it can also show you problems from the past. So yeah, these are the negative blue entries here. So if you are finished with collecting the right amount of frequencies, you can apply to the list. So in this case, there are 7 frequencies. You need 3 to 5 minutes to bring these frequencies up to 100% progress here on the right side. That means 7 times 5, it's 35 minutes. That's the maximum time. And simply start it. Afterwards, you can use the handheld electrodes, sticky electrodes, whatever you want to use. Okay, and if you have more frequencies in this list here, and you don't have enough time to bring them all to 100%, you can also save these lists. And you can create an individual automation for a time with a home, Make Healy, or Healy. So you can do a pain program, for example. You can enter all these modules, so real-time resonance and so on. 3 times 3 minutes. And a resonance, let's say for 10 minutes at the very beginning, like this. And then you have the choice between the databases mode or the list mode. So I've created this pain list a few seconds ago, and for this you should choose the lists mode, add, use pain, and add. So all these frequencies we had in the list are now in this automation. So you can run the same frequencies on a Healy, Make Healy, or a time wave for home. Doesn't matter. The only thing you have to watch out is the Healy only can run frequencies up to 1 megahertz. If in the list are frequencies over 1 megahertz, the Healy is not able to send it. for the Mac Healy, and the TimeWave for Home, it doesn't matter. They can run all the frequencies, but not the Healy. And you can enter a focus text if you want, and say, okay, create a new entry in the higher frequency range. Okay. And okay, and another one in the imbalance resonance, also on the higher frequency range, and okay. So this is what you can do for, or where you can give further care for your patients regarding pain, combined with one of these 3 devices, Healy, Mac Healy, or Home. Okay, and let's have a look. There is no question at the moment. No. So let's go ahead. What you can also do, especially for the emotional level or on some other levels, is using the McMakin program also to get a very fast result. The McMakin module is not, or has no medical approval. It's only for the single channel frequency, not for the McMakin. So you can use it, but not for medical indications. It's not officially approved by the FDA or in the European Union by the TÜV, for example. So, or MedCert. MedCert is the right institution. So you can use it, but only for wellness application to support, let's say, the pain treatment with the frequency. But you can do it officially to harmonize the bioenergetic fields of, let's say, the discs, or for other body systems, or the bioenergetic field of body systems officially. So if there is any pain, you can support it here with specific 2-channel frequencies. And yeah, there are some questions. In the dual frequency TimeWave or McMakin that requires wet towels, can electrode pads be used with channel A and channel B wires instead? Yeah, you should connect the electrode pads with the both cables. So you have always a positive pole and a negative pole for each single channel. So the 2 positive poles should be connected with the electrode cables on one towel or an electrode pad, and the negative, the 2 negative poles on the other one. Yeah, and somebody else asked for a McMakin program. So this is how it looks like. This is also how you can place if you use the single channel frequency. So I had the picture in the presentation already, but this is how you can place also, or how you can applicate the wet towels in case of low back pain, for example. So to support this, you can also start the program here immediately, or you can have a further look inside the program, or you can create your own individual one. So you always see 2 channels, channel A and the channel A frequency, channel B with the respective frequency here and the area. Yes. You can also individualize or customize these kind of programs. So via clicking on new entry, you can add your frequencies, or for example, specifically for the emotional level, you can do this and combine it with the bioenergetic field of a body area. So this is how you can, and you should support, if you have the possibility, your pain treatment you have done with the single channel frequency. And if you want, you can also use the cardio module. That means it's a separate device. So here you have an overview of, you can see the situation in the autonomic nervous system. So if you have an imbalance in sympathetic or parasympathetic nervous system, you see several stress indexes and so on. And this is also to show or to convince your patients to show them before and after results, to show them the improvements and so on. Because a lot of patients, they like visualizations, not only a subjective feeling, they like to see something. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, there's one more thing I want to show you. If you have created, let's say, a MagHealy program, you can transfer it with or via the Healy cloud. So you need the internet connection, and of course you need the smartphone. Let me connect my smartphone with the Healy, and you need the Healy app, obviously, as a patient. Let's wait a second. Okay, then you can create a ton. To get access. And afterwards, you can load the program we have created before. To run it on a, in this case, on a MagHealy. You can do it, or you can do the same with a McMaken program, whatever you want. So you can see it's very easy. And also if the patient give you a call and say, okay, the program is not working anymore, so maybe the full potential is reached, then you can modify it and send it via the Healy cloud. So they don't have to be in your practice or clinic, so it's very easy. So in case of using the TimeWafer Home, there you need the TimeWafer Home to connect it with your laptop or computer to send the automation to the TimeWafer Home. But in case of the TimeWafer Home, there is the limit is much higher. So that means you have the possibility to transfer more than 100 programs. So basically, you don't need that much space. But the Healy and the MagHealy is limited to 12. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm currently using TimeWafer McMaken with someone who's suffering. The emotional frequency, I would like to ask channel A. Yeah, the emotional frequency is 970 Hertz, yes. If I want to use channel B to deal with anger and jealousy, where can I find the information of these different negative emotion frequencies? So there is a list, a frequency list, where you can find all these descriptions for the frequencies. So usually it's provided via TimeWafer. So maybe you can send us an email directly afterwards to ask for the frequency list. So that's possible. I'm finished with the practical part, so I can show you. I can show you the email address. So oh, that was wrong. Sorry. So you can see it here. So please send us an email to sales@timewafer.com so I can see it, or my colleagues will see it, and we can answer you as soon as possible. Okay, so please tell me if you have any further questions. Maybe you have missed something. I hope that I could show you some possible strategies or possibilities, so what you can do. Of course, it's always very individual. Each single patient is individual, so you cannot use the same strategy for each single client. So sometimes it can be successful, sometimes not. So it's always very individual, and that's the experience I have since the last years. So that's the reason why I always start from 0 and start at the very beginning with each single client. And that's what I can recommend. Yeah, what's the difference between the old and new database you've mentioned? Yeah, the old database, there are all the medical descriptions and so on are included. All the medical indications are included. And the new customer version, everything is removed or hidden. It's due to restricted laws here in Germany, or basically in Europe and in the USA. And that's the main reason. So we are not allowed to sell all these medical databases only in case of, or we are allowed to sell it as a medical device and with the databases or programs for pain. That's everything. So. Yeah, there is a way. Please contact us via email. Yeah, if there are no further questions,